Alright TM Nation, so in 2023 I was blessed enough to get my hands on most of the pairs of earbuds I wanted throughout the year. However, with so many solid pairs coming out, I wasn't able to do videos on all of them, but I did make notes to circle back to them when they went on sale or I could otherwise get my hands on a pair. The JBL Tour Pro 2 earbuds were definitely a pair that I wanted but just never really got a chance to pick up until the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales came around, and due to me moving to a new home over the holidays, these sat in storage for a few weeks until I was able to unbox them and start testing them just a few days ago, and man, they were definitely worth the wait as they have exceeded my expectations in just about every area. Yes, there are some gripes that I have with them that I will touch on a little bit later, but for the highlights, these are compatible with the JBL Headphones app that will allow you to customize your sound and a bunch of other stuff. They feature 3 mics in each earbud for that crispy call quality, adaptive active noise cancellation and smart transparency modes, Bluetooth 5.3 LE compatibility with multi-point connectivity as well, the cool LCD screen on the outside of the case, and very good sound quality. Spec wise, like I said, these check just about every box that I look for in a solid pair of all around true wireless earbuds, but they definitely are not perfect. So in this video, I will go through the good and the not so good so that you guys can make a more informed buying decision if you're on the fence about picking a pair up. Starting with the unboxing, you get your normal stuff to include the quick start guide and other documentation, a USB Type-C cable to charge the case, different sized ear tips that you can swap out if you need to, and of course you'll get the case along with the earbuds. And of course the case is where most of the hype comes from with these earbuds, and after using it for a while, I understand why, although it really isn't a big deal for me personally. It is nice to have your playback controls, the ability to change what's on your display screen, and helpful information such as the earbud and case battery life easily accessible without touching my phone. But in all honesty, since I've had these, I rarely find myself using the case without my phone being somewhere nearby. For pros though, it does support wireless charging, which is always a plus in my opinion, and it will give you about 3 extra charges on the earbuds once they go dead. And the earbuds will give you up to 10 hours worth of use on a charge without ANC. If you choose to toggle ANC on pretty much the whole time, that number will drop to about 8, which is still solid. As for the earbud design, the stems on these aren't too small or too long to make putting them in and taking them out of my ears an easy process. They do hug my ears well during exercise because even though they don't have any ear hooks or wings, the ridges on the insides of them kind of plant them down into my ears so they can't move around much. I've also found that the seal is fine to maximize the amount of sound that is blocked out and ensure that I'm hearing most of what's being played through the buds, so I have no complaints with the fit whatsoever. For exercise, I have been able to jump rope, walk, and jog wearing these without any problems whatsoever, even once my ears began to sweat. And I will say that it's really rare for me to get through a whole 30-minute jump rope workout without having to reposition the earbuds at least a couple of times, but these did a really good job in staying planted. The IPX5 water resistance rating also kept them from malfunctioning on me while they were wet, so if that's a concern for you, heavy sweat or splashes of water won't damage them. The Tour Pro 2s do use touch controls, which have been accurate for me so far, and you pretty much get all of the controls that you would need, such as track forward, track back. You can adjust your volume both up and down, summon your voice assistant, and you can control your calls as well. You do have some customization inside of the app so that you can make sure the taps align with what you're comfortable with, but they do come grouped based on the type of function, so you don't have total control over what each gesture will execute, but you can select the different groups for each individual earbud, so like I said, you can cover pretty much any control that you would need. Another feature that these pack is in-ear detection that will automatically pause and play your media when you put in and take your earbuds out, which is something that you can disable if you'd prefer not to have it on. Besides that, inside of the app you have access to a lot of other features, such as the ability to see the charge left on both the case and the earbuds, You can update the firmware when applicable, select from pre-built EQs and create your own, or you also can take the sound test to have the app create an EQ that's tuned to your hearing. You do also get access to the different spatial audio modes. You can fine-tune your ANC and transparency mode settings, access the user manual on the go, and customize the LCD screen on the outside of the case too. Like I said, there is a bunch that you can do inside of the app to make your experience with these earbuds tailored to what you want, which is always a plus. For the call quality, as I mentioned earlier, these are using a total of 6 mics, 3 in each earbud, but they do also use an AI algorithm to help focus on your speech and reject some of your ambient noise. I have used them to make quite a few different voice calls, and so far nobody has complained about how I sounded, and I was able to hear who I was talking to just fine, but I did take some samples for you guys so that you can judge for yourselves. Let's check them out. Alright guys, so right now I have the earbuds paired to my iPhone 15 Pro, and as you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming directly from the microphones on them. Now right now the room is relatively quiet, but I will do my background noise test in just a moment. Give me a second. Now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background, and I'll go ahead and be quiet for just a moment so that you guys can judge how loud that noise is. Alright, and I'll go ahead and start talking again. So this part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphones on these earbuds can block out some of that noise and focus on my speech. I do like the fact that these feature adaptive noise cancellation, so the earbuds automatically adjust based on my environment. Not only that, you can have the earbuds key in on voices if you'd like them to, and you can also enable voice monitoring so that you can hear yourself talk if that's a feature that you're looking for. I also appreciate that the transparency with these is more like an amplified pass-through than strictly an AI enhancement that sounds robotic or simulated. During my testing, these did perform well in this category, and I'd say that they are in my top tier pairs of transparency earbuds. I'd say that I could hear voices clearly within about a 5 to 6 foot radius, which like I said is pretty good in comparison to other earbuds that I've tried with this feature. Walking outside around the neighborhood wearing them, I'd say that they reduced about 75% of the sounds going on around me to a level that they were barely audible, which I would say is definitely better than average. Now, of course, I was still able to hear some of the louder noises going on around me, such as the kids outside yelling and playing, and I did hear some lawnmower noise, but like I said, the ANC was able to bring those noises significantly down, so when I turned my music up to about 60%, I could no longer hear them. For connection, I haven't had any issues with any noticeable latency watching YouTube videos on my iOS or Android devices. However, these don't feature a dedicated low latency mode for you hardcore mobile gamers out there, although I was able to play Call of Duty Mobile without feeling that I was at a huge disadvantage. Besides that, these do support independent use, which will allow you to use one earbud and leave the other in the case if you'd like to, and they do support multi-point connectivity that gives you the flexibility of pairing and connecting them to 2 different devices at once and simply switching between them. For the sound quality, guys, I did go ahead and create my own custom EQ, and they sounded excellent. I tuned mine to be a little heavier on the highs, I dialed the mids back a bit as well, and I also did crank up the bass some too to get the exact sound signature that I was looking for. However, if you don't want to create your own custom EQ, I would say go ahead and take a few moments and complete the sound test. For me personally, it did create a sound signature that sounded a little bit better than what I did on my own. After I completed the test, I'd say that the detail is very good. I can hear background instruments and vocals well, and the mids do come through clear too, but not as prominent as they were out of the box because I thought that they were a little too aggressive. Speaking on the low end, the bass with these really impressed me, as this is my first flagship pair of JBL earbuds, and they really blow my other pairs out of the water. During my testing, I pretty much immediately noticed that some hip hop and R&B tracks that have bass lines that some other respectable earbuds either can't pick up or provide responses that are just too faint for me to enjoy are easy to hear with the Tour Pro 2s. The output is also good with these, as at about 80% of the max volume, that is usually more than enough for me to feel satisfied, and I have rarely felt the need to push them to the max. So overall, I don't have any substantial complaints about these in the sound department. I've listened to podcasts, music, watched movies and videos using them, and they've handled everything that I threw at them without a problem. I do want to mention though that the spatial audio modes did not hit the mark for me personally. No matter which mode that I put them in, the sound signature that I got was noticeably worse in each of them, but this may be something that is improved or changed in the future via firmware updates. So touching on the total package with these, being that they retail for $250, I definitely wouldn't say that they're budget earbuds, and if you're like me, at this price point, you should expect top tier performance in most areas. Sound quality wise, like I said earlier, these things are buttery smooth and I really don't have any complaints with the way that they perform. I would say that they're definitely in my top 5. The app and level of customization that you get with the Tour 2 Pros is also probably the most extensive that I've tried recently. They really do give you so many ways to dial them in the way that you want them that it's hard for me to think of other options that I would need out of them. They do fall behind my Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds in ANC performance, as those are just tough to beat at this point, and they have definitely become the pair of earbuds that I pick up when I know that I'm gonna be on travel or I'm gonna be in an environment that requires me to use ANC. And I have used the Tour Pro 2s in different environments, and I wouldn't say that the ANC performance is bad by any means. I do think that they'll be more than adequate for most people. I also think that they will reduce most of the sounds that people will look for them to cancel out, but they don't completely get rid of a lot of noises that are just about completely eliminated when I use the Ultras. So as I touched on earlier, the screen is what's going to set these apart from pretty much all other high-end earbuds on the market right now, and it is a nice feature to have if you're the type of person who likes to throw their phone in a book bag or purse and keep your earbud case handy, as the case with these gives you a lot of the functions and information that you would typically need your phone to access or execute in a much smaller footprint. On the other hand, I would much rather pay about $50 to $60 less, have a regular charging case, and maintain the same performance otherwise. That would definitely put these in the hard to beat category, but as they sit, I am going to keep my pair because I was going to add these to my collection regardless. I really like the sound quality that I get out of them. The companion app is one of the most robust ones that I've tried so far, and across the board, these are just a really solid pair of all-around earbuds. Before you get on out of here, if you rock with the channel and your boy Tecmo, hit that subscribe button and knock that notification bell out so you won't miss any of my uploads. Welcome to TM Nation. Peace.